Day mornings, 2 to 7 a.m. on CRN Digital Talk.
Everybody's talking at me.
CRN Digital Talk, Chuck Wilder here with Paul Stern up there at the network. And we are live across America on this radio station or cable system and around the world at crntalk.com, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Blueberry, Blackberry, any way you want to get us. Today's guest, Glen Spencer, founder of the American Border Patrol Group. We're going to be talking about a expo in Phoenix, the Border Security Expo. ISA is on the Texas border, and so much more. David Drucker, senior congressional correspondent for the Washington Examiner. A couple of good articles from him. And in the second hour, Frank Savato, executive director of BasicProject.org. He is the author of 6 books, including Understanding the Threat of Radical Islam. In the news, in spite of criticism over accepting money from foreign governments, the Clinton Foundation has decided to continue to look abroad for millions of dollars while limiting donor nations to a select group of 6. Kind of interesting, 6 countries vying to put in their 2 cents, millions, to elect our president. Well, the change in policy is coming as a former board member, Hillary Clinton, undertakes her presidential campaign. Foundation's reliance on funding from several Mideast governments that suppress dissent and women's rights, concerns that the State Department focused on during her stint as Secretary of State, sparked criticism and gave the Republican Party a new offensive against the leading Democrat. Clinton resigned from the Foundation's board just recently. The Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton Foundation Board said Wednesday night that future donations will be allowed from the governments of Australia, Canada, Germany, and the Netherlands, and Norway, and the United Kingdom. All right. Associated Press analysts of Clinton's foundation donations between 2001 and 2015 showed government and agencies from 16 nations giving grants of between $55 million and $130 million. Well, speaking in Iowa yesterday, former Secretary of State Hillary said that all her grandparents had immigrated to the United States. A story, by the way, that conflicts with the public census and other records related to her maternal and paternal grandparents. The story of her grandmother specifically immigrating is one that Clinton has told before. And by the way, Clinton's foreign-born grandparent, Hugh Rodham Sr., is the only one who immigrated as a child. David Drucker, Washington Examiner, is going to be on later this hour, and we'll be talking about keeping eyes on Hillary. And Hillary may be getting the most attention, but she's not the only Democrat running for president. According to former Rhode Island Governor Lincoln Chafee, Chafee said this morning that he's seeking the Democratic nomination of President, sort of. Quote, that's why I'm running, because I feel strong about where we're going as a country. That's what he said during an interview on CNN's New Day in response to a question about his criticism of Hillary Clinton. His spokeswoman, Debbie Rich, said that despite using the phrase, I'm running, Chafee's not officially in the race yet. He was a Republican up until 2007 when he became a independent for 6 years, and then he formally joined the Democratic Party in 2013. Jumping around a lot, is he not? And he said, there's no doubt I'm the underdog. Representative Trey Gowdy stated earlier this year that his committee overseeing the Benghazi investigation would ratchet up, and instead now approaching a dead end unless House Speaker John Boehner steps in to help. Don't hold your breath. Upon revelations that former Secretary of State Hillary used only a private email server throughout her tenure, the Benghazi Select Committee vowed to subpoena her emails and continue its investigation. Letters haven't worked. Southern politeness hasn't worked, Gowdy said in a hearing back in January, adding we're going to have to ratchet it up. President Putin sternly urged the West to respect Russia's interest in global affairs and defended his move to sanction the delivery of long-range air defense missile systems to Iran. He did this during a marathon TV call-in show with the nation yesterday. Putin criticized Washington for refusing to see Moscow as a equal partner and warned that Russia-West ties in shambles over the Ukrainian crisis could only be normalized when the United States and its allies show readiness for compromise. Are you listening, Mr. President? He also described the killing of top Kremlin critic Boris Nemtsov as tragic and shameful and said he wasn't certain if Russian law enforcement agencies would be able to track down those who organized it. The search area for the missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 will be expanded by another 60,000 square kilometers. That's about 23,000 square miles in the Indian Ocean if the jetliner is not found by May. Officials today affirming their commitment to not give it up. Malaysia Transport Minister Lo Tong said that Malaysia, Australia, and China, which are leading the hunt for the Boeing 777 that went missing in March 8th last year, are committed to the search. He told reporters after meeting with his counterparts from the other two countries that so far 61% of the 23,000 square mile search area has been scoured off Australia's west coast. The remaining 39% would have been searched by the end of May. If the aircraft is not found within the 60,000 square kilometers, we have collectively decided to extend the search to another 60,000 square kilometers with the highest probability area, he said. However, searchers are hopeful that they can find the plane in the current search area. Immigration. The Obama administration has issued more than 500,000 new Social Security numbers to illegal immigrants granted amnesty under the President Obama's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. In a letter to Senator Jeff Sessions, Republican Alabama, Ben Sasse, Republican New England, exclusively obtained, by the way, by Breitbart News, the Social Security Administration, SSA, reveals that by the end of fiscal year 2014, the Obama administration had issued approximately 541,000 original Social Security numbers to these individuals that he's authorizing to work under the 2012 Deferred Action for the childhood arrivals. Yes, it's not child labor. All right. The administration said it did not maintain account of the number of individuals who applied but were denied an SSN. What do you think? 4? Anyway, quote, we have long-standing rigorous procedures for processing SSN requests. Under stringent requirements, SSN applicants must present evidence of identity, age, and work-authorized immigration status. Commissioner Carolyn Colvin wrote to Sessions and Sasse in response to their March 12th request. As with all SSN applications, we review the evidence submitted for authenticity and for non-citizens, and we verify immigration and work authorization status directly with the Department of Homeland Security. Do you get something in this whole thing here? Let me see here. By the end of year 2014, they had already issued 541,000 Social Security numbers. 541,000, right? And here they are telling you everything they do. Stringent requirements, evidence of identity, age, work authorization, immigration status, and it goes on and on and on. Authenticity for non-citizens, verified information, work authorization, blah, blah, blah. Why can't they take care of the people that aren't getting their Obamacare sign-ups and refunds? My goodness, look how fast the Immigration Department is working at getting the illegal aliens Social Security numbers. 541,000 in the blink of an eye. The federal government, they've set a new record. It's an all-time record for the amount of inflation-adjusted tax revenue that was brought into the federal treasury from the beginning of the fiscal year through the April 15th tax filing deadline. And are you ready for this? As of the close of business yesterday, you know what, I'm wrong. As of the close of business April 14th, all right, the Treasury Department brought in, are you ready? How much taxes did they bring in? $1,477,901,000,000 since fiscal 2015 started October 1st, 2014. From October 1st through April 14th, $1,477,901,000,000. Now, they say we're not going to know the real figure until after all the figures come in. Should be sometime today. Yes. 1 trillion plus. All-time record revenue. Think it had to do with any of those 500,000 new regulations the Obama administration put in? Hey, here's something from Bill Gertz. Don't know if you know about this one or not. North Korea supplied several shipments of missile components to Iran. That's right. And they did this, when the recent nuclear talks were going on. Since September, more than 2 shipments of missile parts have been monitored by U.S. intelligence agencies as they transited from North Korea to Iran. Details of the arms shipments were included in President Obama's daily intelligence briefings. Those are the ones he doesn't read. And officials suggested information about the transfers was kept secret from the United Nations. Didn't want to mess up with any of their secret talks, so it was kept secret. Critics of the U.S.-led nuclear framework agreement reached in Switzerland earlier this month have said one more deficiency of the accord is its failure to address Iran's missile program, considered a key nuclear delivery system for the Islamic regime. You know, I'm going to tell you something. I could imagine right now if someone was reading that last 2 or 3 lines to your commander-in-chief, the president, that he would have his fingers in the air because he would not want to hear that this is a major deficiency of the accord and its failure to address Iran's missile program, I don't want to hear it, considered a key nuclear delivery system for the, and here's the part he really doesn't want to hear, the Islamic regime. Well, a CIA spokesperson, Ryan Trapani, they said, we want to get a comment. And he said, I decline to comment on the missile component shipments, citing a policy of not discussing classified information. Well, thank you, Bill Gertz. It may be classified and it may be secret, but no matter how hard you try, sometimes it just squeaks out, and the American public, they really get to hear what's going on. All right. Hey, you want to hear what's going on in the border? Woo! Glen Spencer coming up next. David Drucker, the conservatives are keeping an eye on Hillary, that's his latest, and Frank Savato. Oh, you don't want to miss him. Hang in there.
Need a great tractor to help with your chores? Get a Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor with financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years during our More Power to You sales event. 0 down, 0% APR financing for terms up to 60 months on select equipment now through June 30th, 2015. Not available for rental, national accounts, governmental customers, or with some customer instant rebate offers. Financing through Kubota Credit Corporation USA, subject to credit approval. Other exceptions may apply. For more information, call toll-free 1-888-465-8268. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
It's the biggest flooring event of the year. Lumber Liquidators' 12th annual April sale with 5 days of unbelievable clearance deals from 29 cents. Don't miss once-in-a-lifetime prices on solid pre-finished Bellawood domestic hardwood from an incredible 99 cents. Gorgeous hand-scraped Supreme Bamboo is just $179. Exotic hardwood, laminate, and more is up to 77% off. Plus, more deals added daily in your local store and 24-month special financing for beautiful, high-quality hardwood floors for less. Get to the April sale event today. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-351-8614. That's 800-351-8614. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-351-8614.
Everybody's talking at me.
Chuck Wilder, CRN. Let me tell you about my guest, Glen Spencer. He is founder of the American Border Patrol Group based in Sierra Vista, Arizona. American Border Patrol is a private non-governmental organization with the stated purpose of informing you Americans about the border. And, hey, without further delay, let's go to Glen Spencer. Glen, how are you, sir?
Very good. Chuck, how are you today?
Pretty good. You know, you do it a heck of a lot more than I do, I think. But does it give you a good feeling sometimes whenever you tell people, hey, you're a little late to the party? I noticed you put a posting on that about when it comes to immigration. Yeah, well, it does me, I'll tell you.
You know, I couldn't believe it. Here's Michael Chertoff, the former, Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, under Bush, came out and what was it, yesterday or the day before, and said we need to do a better job of figuring out how well we're doing on the border, an accounting system that will tell us, give us a score, a metric. How are we doing, How do we know if the fence works? How do we know if this works or that works? We don't know how to figure that out. We haven't been measuring success. Of course, this has been a drum I have been beating hard for almost 10 years.
You know what? And not only, ask the people that work on the border. That's one, obvious way. Don't threaten, to repercussions against them if they don't let them go. The other way is maybe check in with this guy Glen Spencer, who's been working forever and showing you ways that you can measure how many are coming over, even cheaper than a fence, cheaper than, running up and down the border. Right. You've worked on it. It's been perfected. It even runs on solar, doesn't it? That's
right. And it was a very need to to do a border accounting system that I invented this thing over 4 years ago. And let me tell you something, Chuck. In the last year, we have been improving it and improving it. Now, this thing is really 10 times better than it was when I first started, and it would do the job then.
Well, let me tell you, just in case it ever gets down in, in the California area, how much rainwater does it take to run this thing, huh?
Yeah, right.
They'll come up with something.
It actually saves you rainwater by eventually stopping all those people who are coming up and drinking it.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, this Border Security Expo going to be going on in Phoenix, April 21st, 22nd.
Right.
Is this going to be your thing on display?
Oh yeah, we're having a new coming out party. We used to call our system identification using seismic methods. But IDENTISCSIS, yes.
Yeah,
right. We have a new name. After we've changed it all around and been experimenting with different approaches, we've come up with a way that not only can it tell you that something is coming up to the line, it will tell you where it is. It actually acts like a radar or a sonar. So what we did is I said, well, there's radar and there's sonar. So I came up with the name of SIDAR, SEIDAR, for seismic detection and ranging. So we've named the new product Sidearm, seismic detection and ranging. So the new thing, and we're going to have our big debut at that show, and we're going to knock their socks off. Okay?
All right.
And
now,
we have a booth there, and it's going to be the rage of the show.
Let me tell the listeners, because coming up on a break here in a moment, the booth number is going to be 1100,
right.
And the expo is going to be April 21st, 22nd in Phoenix, and it's called Sidearm, SIEDARM. I was looking at
SEI.
Oh, SEI. Okay, my release has it backwards. Okay, SEI.
Like for seismic,
right?
Yeah, SEI, sidearm for seismic detection and ranging mechanism. And
all right, we're going to take a break, Glenn, and when we come back, I'm going to let you tell the listeners where this is taking place in Phoenix, and also we're going to talk a little bit about the fact that ISA is on the border of the United States, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir, they are close. And we'll be right back. Glenn Spencer. It's AmericanBorderPatrol.com. AmericanBorderPatrol.com. Glenn Spencer. He'll be right back.
This is the Mike Huckabee Report for Thursday. Who should be in charge of raising kids, parents or government? That's next. Looking forward to your tax refund? Well, so are identity thieves who steal refunds by filing fraudulent tax returns. Last year alone, they stole more than an estimated $5 billion from hardworking Americans just like you. Once an identity thief gets a hold of your tax forms, watch out. They know that virtually all the information they need to steal your identity and even your life savings is right there. Help protect yourself with LifeLock Ultimate Plus. LifeLock Ultimate Plus provides protection for your Social Security number, bank accounts, investments, even the equity in your home. And while no one can stop all identity theft and nobody can monitor every single business, LifeLock Ultimate Plus provides their most comprehensive identity theft protection available. If you're filing taxes this year, especially if you're filing online, do what I did and get LifeLock Ultimate Plus. Visit LifeLock.com/Huckabee now or call and use promo code Huckabee to save 10% on your LifeLock Ultimate Plus membership. Call 1-800-240-LOCK, 800-240-LOCK, 800-240-LOCK. A brand new subscription service with premium content. It's called the Huckabee Exclusive. Details available at HuckabeeExclusive.com. Last Sunday in Silver Spring, Maryland, someone called 911 to report an unaccompanied 10-year-old boy and his 6-year-old sister playing at a park at 5 p.m. Their parents believe that kids need unsupervised playtime to learn independence, but the kind of freedom we all took for granted as kids is now called neglect. The parents say police coerced their kids into a squad car by promising to drive them home, then kept them there for 3 hours, held them 6 hours without food, and didn't bring them home till nearly midnight. The parents have had previous run-ins with authorities, but this time they plan to sue the police and Child Protective Services for violating their parental rights and terrifying their children. You could make an argument either way as to who's right, but I do notice that the only people in the park who lured those kids into a car and held them against their will were the cops. I think we already have a winner for Boss of the Year. Dan Price is the founder and CEO of the Seattle credit card processing company Gravity Payments. He read a study that found that people who make less than $70,000 a year tend to be less happy, and his friends had told him how hard it was to get by on even $40,000 a year. So he announced that over the next 3 years, all of his 120 employees will get raises to at least $70,000, even the receptionists and janitors. It'll cost 80% of the firm's profits, and Price said his own salary will have to be cut from $1 million a year to $70,000. But Price is an unusual CEO anyway. He drives a 12-year-old car and says his biggest extravagance is picking up the occasional bar tab. His employees are overjoyed, but whoever runs his HR department will earn that extra money. They're about to be buried in job applications. For years, scientists at the Parkes Observatory in Australia have been picking up unusual radio wave signals called peritons. The theories of their origins ranged from a black hole to possible extraterrestrial communications. But now the mystery has finally been solved. They were coming from the microwave oven in the staff kitchen. So if you see anyone at 7-Eleven cooking a microwave burrito who looks like he's from another planet, maybe he is. And finally, a Leesburg, Georgia man fired his 9mm pistol at an armadillo in his garden. The bullet ricocheted off the critter's armored shell, went through a fence, a door, and a chair, and finally hit his mother-in-law. Luckily, after hitting all those objects, the bullet had slowed way down and didn't hurt her too badly. Police say the man was not arrested or even given a citation, possibly because there was no way to prove whether that was a freak accident or the world's most elaborately planned trick shot. And this is the Mike Huckabee Report.
Everybody's talking at me.
CRN, Chuck Wilder with Glen Spencer, founder and president of the American Border Patrol Group, AmericanBorderPatrol.com. And we've been talking about this Border Security Expo. It's coming up in Phoenix, Arizona, April 21st, 22nd. Do you have the location for that?
It's the Phoenix Convention Center, right downtown Phoenix. People can look it up. I don't have the address, but
yeah, Google it, and there it is.
And let me tell you something. Was it Monday? I sent an email over to a guy I know at Northrop Grumman, and I gave him 3 links to YouTube of 3 demonstrations of this system that are just incredible. And he emailed me back yesterday, and he said, "Let me tell you something, Spencer. Those videos are the talk of the town at Northrop Grumman, okay? People they can't believe that you guys came up with that. That's going to be at the convention center."
Let me tell you something, Glenn. What other higher recommendation could you get from any other company? I can't think of anybody higher than them. You know, I'm just trying to think
they
on.
Are one
the
of
Blackbird.
Right,
yeah.
Right. They've got the Global Hawk, that huge UAV that flies all over the world. They are the world's experts. And
I think they did the B1, the B2, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, the B2.
Yeah. So they know what they speak of.
Yeah, and their engineers can't believe it. It's the talk of the town, he said, all over Northrop Grumman.
All right, and once again, now it's SEID, not SIED, right?
That's right. It's SEI, like seismic detection and ranging. And see, the media won't cover it. They won't talk to me.
Yeah.
And so
just a heads up, Glenn. Whenever this notice I got, an important border breakthrough that I got from you guys, they have it on wrong. SIED. Okay, so tell them to correct that. Or Grumman's going to say, forget it. Yes. All right. Hey, and that's booth 1100. What were you going to say? I'm sorry I had to interrupt you there.
Well, that's all, you know.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about, first off, real quick, you got this thing, I found it interesting, the three amigos, Flake, Rubio, McCain, and very interesting, and you can read about that on Glen's site too, border security with that. Then this ISA, this is some big news because the mainstream media ought to be hitting on this. President Obama should be, at the Rose Garden talking about the fact that ISA is a few miles from El Paso, and they're in New Mexico, and I've got all the cities here, Santa Teresa, Sunland Park, Juarez. Shouldn't this be of a little bit of concern?
Well, it came, Judicial Watch, which very responsible organization, came up with that intelligence.
Tom Fitton.
And they should be all over it.
But and here they find these documents that are written in Arabic, and they have plans of Fort Bliss. That's right there in almost downtown El Paso. I used to work there. I think that's where you guys had one of these expos one time. Remember, about a year and a half ago?
That's correct.
Was that El Paso? Yeah, you went down and showed off some of the censoring equipment.
That's correct.
They've got the Juarez cartel, the Barrio Azteca gang. Those are gang members from the jail in El Paso. I mean, this is important, and to me, it's really under the radar. I don't hear anybody reporting about it, other than you had it on your news, I've got it on my news, but I don't hear anybody jumping up and down about it.
Well, you have a serious problem right there because this ISA group, listen to the atrocities that they commit. Well, how about these cartels in Mexico? They have the same modus operandi. They're birds of a feather. Now they're right
Car
there.
bombs, beheadings,
beheadings, all of these atrocities. Now these are the same people. These cartels have taken over huge parts of Mexico. Now I was talking to a guy who was over in Afghanistan, and I said, you could have people in Juarez there. 81% of the people in El Paso are Hispanic. That's probably 99% of those are Mexicans. And we said, you have a lot of people who live in El Paso who have connections in Juarez with the drug cartels, and they could threaten them, okay? And he said that's what they do over in Afghanistan and Iraq. They find a family, and they get one of the members, and they said, if you don't do this bombing, we'll kill the rest of your family. So you've got the situation here where you've got the cartels who can reach into El Paso at that huge Mexican-American community and right next to Fort Bliss.
Hey, Glenn, all out of time. I'll just tell you real quick. When I was a disc jockey there, #1 rock station in El Paso in the old days, we used to go across the border. We didn't go across the main checkpoint. We went across others, just wave you right on through. But I'm sure now that's really, Hey, Glen Spencer, go to AmericanBorderPatrol.com, and don't forget this coming April 21st, 22nd, Phoenix, Arizona. It'll be the Border Security Export, and check out Sidearm. It's at the Convention Center right there in Phoenix. Glenn, look forward to our next visit, sir. Hey, thank you for everything you're doing. You told them so. All right. AmericanBorderPatrol.com. Right now, let's go to David Drucker, senior congressional correspondent for the Washington Examiner. He previously reported for CQ Roll Call and the Los Angeles Daily News. Boy, do I miss that paper. Hey, David, welcome to the show, sir. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, I know that we were going to talk about Marco Rubio. I won't wait my term, and we're going to just kind of touch on that a little bit. But, boy, your new one, and I think this is your latest, GOP Dirt Diggers, Dog Clinton. Is that the one you just released?
Yeah, that we posted that this morning. Correct.
Can we talk about that one a little bit?
Hey, anything you want to talk about.
All right. I was mentioning, I guess it was yesterday, Hillary's talking about her grandparents were immigrants, and they came across, I'm thinking, And now, today, they talk about, well, she got caught in a fib or misspoke, whatever they can do rather than calling it a lie. Only one of her grandparents came over. And that was, I got it right here. Let's see. Her foreign-born grandparent was Hugh Rodham Sr., the only immigrant in her family. But now, Mr. David Drucker, he's got a story here. It just came out today. There are nearly 100 staff of Republicans that are doing research, and it's called, their group is called American Rising, and they're digging up dirt on Hillary Clinton. All I got to say, David, they better have big shovels and a lot of them.
Yeah, America Rising is a super PAC, and its main purpose is opposition research. It's something that the Democrats did well with their own group called American Bridge in 2012. And with the success that American Bridge had in going after Mitt Romney and looking into his past, Republicans wanted a similar independent group that could focus millions of dollars on trackers to, document Hillary Clinton's every move. They expected her to be the nominee in 2016. So in 2013, this group started going through Hillary Clinton's background and record. They've had trackers all over the place trying to document everything she's said or ever said. And this is kind of the new wave of politics that we live in, which is if you're running for office, there is going to be a member of the opposition there with a video camera of some sort to record your every move and everything you say. So, if you misspeak, they can use it against you immediately.
Yep.
And if it's not clear that you said anything wrong, maybe a month from now you'll say something that contradicts what you said. It turns out to be wrong, and all they have to do is go to the archives and pop it online. So that's what America Rising is up to, and it could have an impact on the 2016 campaign.
Well, I think it's about time the Republicans, started taking on tactics such as this. And as you mentioned, the American Bridge, that was the Democrats group that went out, and they did very good against Romney. All kinds of things. But you mentioned here in your article yesterday, American Rising released a video of Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, and Democratic operative David Brock, and they were soliciting campaign funds from donors in San Francisco. And what happened is, you say, the footage was captured the same day. Clinton said at a campaign stop in Iowa, one of her goals as president would be to get big money out of politics. So now she's aware of the fact, and I think you mentioned it, that wherever you go, Hillary, there's going to be 2 or 3 of these people representing American Rising with their videos.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of the 4 pillars of her campaign, at least I guess at this early stage, is to, I don't know how else to say it, but get money out of politics, which is interesting considering that politicians like to say this sort of thing while they're raising huge amounts of money. And look, you need huge amounts of money to win the presidency. Hillary's campaign chairman was doing what they need to do, which is raise money so that they can afford her campaign. But it's one of those things that's a little bit contradictory, and I imagine she'll have to answer for it in some form, which is, if it's so bad, why are you doing it? Yeah.
Now, the thing here, I'm thinking, because people listening to this, people reading your article, the Washington Examiner, WashingtonExaminer.com, you say this group right here, 100 staff on this American Rising. They have 20 full-time, more than 50 part-time trackers across the country. I can almost see people, David, saying, hey, I want that job. Or is it a volunteer organization? Do you know?
No, it's not. It's a super PAC. So what they do is go out and raise money from donors who support Republicans and conservatives, and they put it to work funding opposition research, which is very time-consuming and labor-intensive.
Which would include these people that are traveling with the campaigners,
and
right?
Includes the trackers, and that's a big part of campaigns now.
Boy, and you know what? You gotta make sure you don't let some progressive sneak in there, and file a false report. because that's what you got to watch out for, and they've been known to do that. Both sides, I think.
You know, they're pretty good. Usually these organizations are pretty good at vetting people that go to work for them. You know, it's just, in a sense, it's like any other political committee. It just happens to be independent of the party and of a particular campaign, but it does the work that is necessary. I mean, this is the game you have to play if you're going to be successful.
Well, I'll tell you, with the Clintons' track record, you know, Bill and Hillary, there's so much stuff you can talk about. But now that she's out there, unguarded, so to speak, I mean, I've seen this lady. I've seen a lot of videos where this lady can lose her cool real quick. And this might be the downfall for her, seriously, because, you know, these people are, I mean, all the media is following her, but we know how the mainstream media wants to protect Hillary. So this is good. This is good, I think. Do you think it's a good idea?
Well, I think that if the Republicans want to win the White House, they need a group like this. The Democrats have a group like this, and you need outside help like this. You can't just depend on the party committees and the campaign committees like you used to. So I think it's a necessary development for the Republicans to have a friendly group like this that does nothing but op research and funds trackers to be everywhere and go everywhere.
I read today where Associated Press, they're doing a fact check on Marco Rubio, just about everything he's saying, and something backfired. I didn't have a chance to look at all of it, but I guess they thought they had him and they didn't. You wrote this article that I had explained to my listeners that you were going to be coming on, and it was Marco Rubio, I won't wait my turn. And you're saying, well, what do you do now? You know, is he like, what's his name there, Christie? You know, getting ready to throw your ice cream at somebody, you won't get in line? No. He doesn't want to get in line. He doesn't want to play this thing about, it's his turn to be president, right?
Correct. And look, there are some Republicans who think that he's too young and too inexperienced, particularly some of the supporters of Jeb Bush in Florida are a little bit annoyed that Rubio's running as well and wanted him to defer. Jeb Bush was very helpful to Rubio on his way up the political ladder in Florida, and they felt as though Rubio owed it to him. But I think part of what Rubio is also trying to say and do is make the case for a new generation of leadership, because that's really what he is. He's a new generation, and he has to answer the critics who are going to say, particularly on the Republican side, who are going to say, you know, you're a 43-year-old first-term senator who's never run anything, not in the traditional sense anyway.
Does that sound familiar?
And it sounds familiar. It sounds just like the current president who ran for president in the middle of his first Senate term. He'd never run anything, and do we want to try that again?
Yeah. You know, and whenever he says, from your article, you say, quote, just yesterday, a leader from yesterday began a campaign for president by promising to take us back to yesterday, Rubio said, the iconic Freedom Tower in Miami. But yesterday is over, and we are never going back. And whenever he's talking about yesterday, he's talking about Obama, obviously, and he's not talking about...
That was a shot at Hillary Clinton, who's 67 years old and obviously has been on the scene for a long time. That was a particular shot at Clinton, who had just announced for president a day before.
Okay. See, I had it wrong, because I'm thinking promising to take us back to yesterday, but yeah, that's what he's doing, right? Yeah, okay, we'll get it. Yesterday is over. We're never going back. He's going into the future. Yeah, well, Hillary's arrow shows you that she's headed in some kind of direction. We're going to continue in just a moment, wrap things up with David M. Drucker. I'm trying to get through this one. Marco Rubio, I won't wait my turn. The website, WashingtonExaminer.com. Don't go away.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California. With the finest art galleries, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. the heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. Really? Yeah. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
Geico Motorcycle presents Reflections from the Road.
Let me tell you, the road is a much more relaxing place since I switched to Geico Motorcycle Insurance and started saving money. With that taken care of, now I can think about deep, important things. Like how come it's a pair of pants when there's only one of them? A real brain teaser. But hey, at least saving money with Geico Motorcycle is as easy as pie. What does that mean anyway?
Geico Motorcycle Insurance. See how much you could save.
Hi, this is Warren Eckstein. Get the jump on fleas before they get the jump on you. Cedarside Original from Cedarside.com is a must-have to eliminate fleas and ticks. Cedarside.com's products are made with 100% natural cedar oil and are safe for kids, pets, and adults. Cedarside's original organic bug spray repels and kills mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, flies, ear mites, mange, and more. Order some today. Go to Cedarside.com. Use coupon code Warren at checkout to get free shipping, or call 800-842-1464 and mention my name, Warren Eckstein, Cedarside, for people, pets, and premises.
Everybody's talking at me.
My guest, David M. Drucker, D-R-U-C-K-E-R. He is senior congressional correspondent for the Washington Examiner, and we are discussing Marco Rubio saying, I won't wait my turn. Nope, I'm ready to go. And, the one thing you have here, one Bush donor who contributed to Rubio's 2010 Senate campaign, said the last good-looking, smooth guy who talked insistently about the future, so the country a bill of goods, called it hope and change, and said Republicans haven't forgot that, and he said, which is Marco's real problem. Do you think he's sounding a little bit like Obama, David, in your opinion?
Well, not necessarily. I think Rubio is offering a much more defined substantive policy agenda beyond simply a broad argument that, partisan politics is bad and we need to just, get the special interests out. And that was kind of Obama's trope in 2008. And it worked really well because that's what voters wanted to hear. So I think Rubio actually is a lot different. He's much more involved in the details of legislation and policy as a senator than Obama was as a senator. And Rubio's also running on a much different platform than Obama did. So I don't really think they're the same, but I think that the point that critics and opponents of Rubio are making, particularly Republicans who would like to see a governor or former governor as their nominee, is that if you think Obama was an incompetent, weak leader, particularly if you think he was an incompetent leader who didn't know what he was doing, why would we elect somebody similar to him just because he was a Republican? And, those Republicans are trying to make the case for a strong executive leader with real experience in governing and making decisions.
Well, I'll tell you, David, when you mention former governors they'd like to see, in your article you say Bush, considered a front runner in the GOP's 2016 nomination, should be run. Polling shows that Wisconsin's Governor Scott Walker is in contention. Other chief executives, let me see, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, and former governors Mike Huckabee of Arkansas, Rick Perry of Texas. Boy, you're right. There's a lot of governors in here. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's quite a group.
You know, about a minute left here, and excellent article. And I've always complained about, even with the Bushes, right? Okay, it's daddy, and now it's the son's time, and and now another son, and then the grandson, and I'm almost seeing, it's going to be Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea. Heaven help us. But it's interesting. Hey, in your bio that I got on you, said you formerly wrote for the LA Daily News. What years were those?
That was 2003 to 2005. I started writing for them right after Arnold Schwarzenegger was elected governor. I was covering Sacramento for a sister paper, and so they had me cover the Schwarzenegger administration, and I was there until 2005 when I came to D.C.
Well, I was trying to think, and I'm not a good thinker. The gentleman that is the founder of this program, George Putnam, who passed away, seems like maybe we had you on the show one time. Do you recall being on his show?
I don't, but it's just, my everything runs together, but I wouldn't doubt that I did.
And it all started in California when things started running together. Hey, David Drucker, thank you very much. Look forward to our next visit. David is the senior congressional correspondent for the Washington Examiner. Go and check out his stories, WashingtonExaminer.com, and his latest is GOP Dirt Diggers, Dog Clinton. Thank you very much, David, and want to get together again.
Anytime. Thank you.
Thank you. Coming up next, Frank Savato, Executive Director, BasicProject.org. Oh, we got some goodies. BS grows fat on the Rolling Stone. And, a bunch of other good ones. Transformation of our federal government. Wow. Don't leave us. We'll be right back.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation.